Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Just Talking About Sports. We are finally back after our 3-month hiatus. I am Ethan.
And I'm Matthew.
And Matt, what are we going to be doing today?
Just talking about sports, baby.
Wow, it is just music to my ears. It's great to finally hear those words again, as me and Matt finally have some time to get together and record another video and post some more content on this channel since it's been a busy summer, and we're thinking now that the championships are beginning to start coming around, especially with the NBA championship. Hint, hint, wink, wink. We'll be getting into that in the rest of this video. Has been coming around, and so we're like, let's finally sit down and revive our channel. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing here today, because what is coming around? The NBA championship is right around the corner, and we were absolutely thrilled to kind of be able to watch it, because let's just say it is finally, as a fan, and for once, it's been unpredictable. You could blame the injuries, you could blame the craziness with the coaches, but thanks to the injuries, for once, we've got something that has not really happened and been very unpredictable for a very long time. We've got two teams in the NBA championship right now who've not won a championship for 50 or more years. Holy moly, can I not wait for it. It is the Phoenix Suns versus the Milwaukee Bucks. What a ride both these teams have had to come to make this, and I am just thrilled to get into it. So without further ado, we'll start. And Matt, I know you've been holding it in, so let's hear it. Who do you got here today, or at least for this NBA championship? Do you have the Milwaukee Bucks or do you have the Phoenix Suns?
All right, let's start at the bottom, and then I'll get into my pick. Let's start back to how each team got here. Milwaukee really has struggled in the playoffs the past few years. There's questions about how Giannis can lead a team in the playoffs, and his supporting cast, Chris, heading into the playoffs, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, good role players, good support players, but have never really taken that extra step in their careers to be extremely successful. We have guys like Brook Lopez, who was really good back in the day in Brooklyn. His best days are now gone. Bobby Portis is, you punched a guy in Chicago. That's really all you need to know. And so they have one of their guys, Dante DiVincenzo, Villanova star, out for the year. So they've been dealing with injuries. They clean Miami, the defending Eastern Conference champions and NBA final runner-ups. They were a team that many people thought would, they were a team many people thought would knock them clean. Milwaukee said, nah, I don't think so, and completely wiped them out the water. The real notification of, okay, this is legit, was Brooklyn. They go through and they take down the Nets with KD, Kyrie, James Harden, albeit injuries throughout that entire slew of a crowd there in Brooklyn. They got through in 7 games. Then we head to the Eastern Conference Finals against Atlanta? Huh? What? Ben Simmons, your new point guard for the Shanghai Sharks, decided to choke for Philly. Unrelated, but had to mention it. So now we bring that to a Milwaukee-Atlanta situation, and even without, and then Atlanta, Trae Young got hurt, Giannis got hurt, which is where I'm going to get to, but really didn't matter. Even without Giannis, the Bucks were going to clean them up anyway. So this is where the story leads. Giannis is injured. It has come down to these role players, so to speak, and Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, and other guys such as Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez, Pat Connaughton, Bryn Forbes, guys off the bench to make plays for Milwaukee. The storyline, of course, has been Middleton and Holiday. Middleton has stepped up to be that guy. Holiday has as well. They've combined for 124 points combined in the last 2 games. They're each averaging 30 plus in the past 5. These guys have really helped clean up for Milwaukee. That's why I'm going to take them over the Phoenix Suns. I'll get to that in a minute. But I want to talk about Phoenix's road. They took down the Lakers with LeBron and AD. Of course, that's kind of the big storyline to how they get to this point. They sweep the Nuggets. That famous fan with the Suns in 4 is living his best dreams. And really at that point, after the Jazz fell to the Clippers and Kawhi injured, it was no doubt the Suns were going to take down LA as well. Chris Paul is finally in this moment. He gets his time.
Finally. He deserved it for way too long.
Agreed, man. And this, I was talking about this the other day. This is Peyton Manning 2.0. I feel like this is now, oh my God, we're in this situation where you're reaching your final years and you have a shot to finally do it, break the mold, and win a championship. Here's the problem. I don't think he can do it. I love Devin Booker. I love DeAndre Ayton. Both have been fantastic in these playoffs. Chris Paul has been injuries have kind of hobbled him a little bit in the playoffs, and the Suns don't have anybody else. It is Chris Paul. It is Devin Booker. It is DeAndre Ayton. Jay Crowder's been he's been hit or miss. And Phoenix doesn't have that really reliable guy. Of course, Cameron Payne, who Chicago quit on 3 years ago, of course, comes back and says hello, but that's besides the point. He struggled recently. Milwaukee has more. And even if Giannis is injured, I'm taking Milwaukee. I really like the way Chris Middleton is playing. This is the Chris Middleton people were hoping we'd see a couple of years ago. He is now in this moment proving that he is a superstar. I think he by himself is enough to beat Phoenix. I really believe that. I believe that for a while. I'm very high on Chris Middleton. I remember Kendrick Perkins saying, about a week ago, that he is the Batman and Giannis is the Robin. Well, I don't agree with that at all. I do believe that Chris Middleton is better than Robin. I think he's the Batman-Superman duo in you get to pick and choose. There's so many parts of Middleton's game that are so dangerous. His ability to shoot. He's an unbelievable, extremely underrated defender as well. He's a 6'8" 2 guard with fantastic size. He can get it done by himself. I'm taking the Bucks in 5 games. I don't think Phoenix contends, and I think Chris Paul chokes his chance at a championship. Boom, mic drop.
What a pick right there. So there's your in-depth look from Matt. I have not been paying as much attention. I'll come out and say that right away. I haven't been paying as much attention to the NBA, but I have been keeping a very close eye on as basically as soon as the conference championships came around, because when the Clippers, Suns, Hawks, and Bucks are in the finals, you're going to start watching too, at least as a fan of like underdogs myself, and like trying to just be able to enjoy watching these random teams that really are never there, kind of just be like, oh yeah, it's finally our turn all at once to finally try and make a run. And there's finally not a LeBron or Michael Jordan or Steph Curry. So there's no one that basically always going to be there. Like the LeBron is always in the championship, or the Warriors are always in the championship. For once, we are finally away from all that. And we survived by a toenail, KD's toenail, that close from being stuck with another one of the KD, Kyrie, and James Harden in a championship, which I think as a NBA fan overall would not have been very pleasing. And thank God for that, because now we've got ourselves a lot more entertaining finals, at least in my opinion, to be able to watch, because it's two teams that Stephen A. Smith will not be too thrilled to be able to talk about, because to him, there's nothing to talk about in the finals because there's no LeBron talk. There's no really big controversies because these
That's the media. That's the
all
media.
by themselves. There's nothing too polarizing about these teams because they've done nothing wrong. I mean, what is there? Giannis is the nicest person you could ever meet. You can't be anything rude about him. So, and of course, Giannis might not even play. So what are they going to talk about? So finally into my prediction, or my opinion about these finals between the Suns and the Bucks. During at least the preseason, or during the actual regular season, these two teams faced off twice. Suns came away with both games, and I think that's just going to continue. I really do believe the Suns and Chris Paul, I think this is the time. You talked about, I really, really do think this is the time for them. I mean, they have all the pieces. And when you think of the NBA, you always think of those trios. You always got the tall guy. You got DeAndre Ayton, fits it perfectly. You got the shooter, the centerpiece of that. You got Devin Booker. And you got the veteran with the experience that always comes in and helps and is always great with the ball. That is Chris Paul. Those are 3 big things that you always want to have on a team. And the Suns have all of that. And that's why I think that they're just going to be too much for them. I think they had a little bit of a more rougher road because the Western Conference has been stacked. They were able to go through teams like the Lakers with LeBron. They were able to go through teams like, the Clippers, but they were able to actually put up a fight, which was, in my opinion, a little bit of a surprise. But I just believe they've had a harder basically ride to the finals here. And I feel like because of that, and because of the better experience, and because I think it's time, I think the Suns have got it. And big things is obviously they're the favorites. Why? Because Giannis might not even play. When you hyperextend your knee like that, things you're basically not able to be the same person, especially if you're rushing it, because the Bucks literally just played just a few days ago, and then they're supposed to be trying to have a game 1 coming right up, like basically after 2 days rest or a day rest. And that, Giannis missed game 6, but I feel like even with him missing, I think he still needs a little bit more time. And instead of forcing him right into it, you're going to bring him in if you're really desperate, because yes, this is the time, but I feel like these first 2 games, I feel like they are not going to be playing Giannis, which means the Suns are going to have a chance. And guess where it is? It's in Phoenix. So Phoenix plays very well in Death Valley. So I feel like they're going to be able to get a 2-0 jump on them, and then they're going to bring Giannis in. They'll maybe steal a game or 2. And I think what's going to happen is we're going to get a gentleman's sweep, in my opinion, and we're going to get a Game 5 win for the Suns, and they take it home, and Chris Paul finally gets the bling on his ring finger. That's my opinion right there. I feel like that's where it's going to be an interesting series, though. I mean, regardless of which team wins, I will be thrilled because each team deserves it. They've been working their asses off to finally be able to make it to this point, and they finally, as like basically, it's proven that the NBA may not fully be done or basically super team or built around super teams. They're not fully around that. That's as fans, I believe, like you and me, I think we really believe that, and I think we enjoy that the NBA is kind of maybe having a glimpse of hope for that, and maybe a glimpse of hope for the future of the NBA. I mean, we're getting to see it here with Devin Booker and plenty more players, DeAndre Ayton as well. It's going to be a thrilling matchup. You've got the Bucks in 5. I got the Suns in 5. Cannot wait to see which one comes out as the winner. But regardless, like I said, we're going to be thrilled.
I think the one thing I just want to mention real quick, you said that the Suns have had a harder road here. I do disagree with that. I think the Bucks, when they play Miami, defending champ, Jimmy Butler, obviously they played like garbage. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero failed that series. Miami failed the series, but they're a tough opponent. Brooklyn was going to win this.
I know Brooklyn, they were one of the best teams in there regardless. I understand.
Brooklyn was going to win this. I think everybody knew that to a certain extent, and injuries hit them. But even still, KD and Harden by themselves should have easily taken care of business. And Giannis and Middleton said, "Yeah, I don't think so," and took care. And they really did what they needed to do. And then Atlanta was hard.
No, Atlanta.
Atlanta.
They were a great story, but the Cinderella bell struck midnight.
I don't understand how they got there to this day. I don't get it. Kudos to Trae Young. He's a badass. He's an official villain of the league, and I love it. But that game, I'm happy for Milwaukee. I'm happy for Phoenix. I am rooting for Phoenix. I want to make this clear.
Okay.
Paul is one of my favorite players of all time, and I would love nothing more than to see him get one his own to put here. But I think Milwaukee has it simply because of how well they've been playing heading into this stretch. I will take Milwaukee. Either way, going to be a great series, and I can't wait to watch.
All right, there you have it. There's our takes there for the 2021 NBA Finals. Cannot wait for this series. NBA's got a bright future now with these teams that are making it prove that it can indeed be unpredictable for once in our lifetime.
Agreed.
But we cannot look forward to it. But once again, that'll do it here for our video. We are officially back. The return of Just Talking About Sports here, as we'll see if we're attempting to post some more videos, as it still is going to be a busy summer. We're going to do our best to try and put out some more videos, as there still is more sports, although this is the final one besides hockey. Hockey's already starting, and MLB is baseball, and baseball is fun to talk about, but not until the playoffs, at least in my opinion. But since there's no sports, our live sports we want to talk about, there's always one more thing that hint, hint, wink, wink might be coming up. Another episode of Hex Trivia might be around the corner, so be on the lookout for that. But besides that, that'll do it here for us. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope everyone has enjoyed. And until next time, we'll be here just talking about sports.
Take care. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.